What is going on, my fast friends? Welcome to another Moto-R moto vlog. Today we are with the Aprilia RS660 2021 659cc Italian beast right here. And I've actually wanted to talk about this for a while because I have been using this bike as a daily rider to work for the most part when the weather is good. I want to talk about whether the RS660 is a good commuter bike. And I know what you're thinking, you know, it is a sport bike and it has the ergonomics somewhat of a sport bike. And you know what they say, if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's a friggin' duck. But I want to explain a little bit of the differences between a true on super sport bike and RS660 and why, in my opinion, that the RS660 is not a bad commuter. And we're gonna go through several criterias that I look at, you know, whether a bike I look at whenever I think about if a bike is a good commuter bike or not. And as you know, in my channel we also have the 2018 Kawasaki Z900 that I have also been using as a commuter bike at times. But you want to know, every time you get a bike, is it a weekend warrior or is it a motorcycle that you can actually use as a commuter bike, as a main mode of transportation? Now, the bike has three different mapping, and if you can see right here, it has an individual mode, which most people would use for high speeds, runs, and all of that. It has the tune is a lot more aggressive, and then it also has a commute mode. So a motorcycle that has a commute mode, you would think can commute, but the mapping is a little bit less aggressive. I'm guessing the mileage is a little bit better, less throttle response, all of that. So do I use it even when I do commute? Do I use commute? Nope. It's just not as fun. I don't want the bike to be less aggressive even when I am commuting, so I usually roll on dynamic, which is a tune that kind of splits it in half, right? Not as aggressive as the individual mode, but also not as timid as the commute mode. Got a leg over the bike. Let's go for a ride and talk about this criteria that I look at. Oh yeah, I think I'm able to kind of speak on this a little bit because I have ridden several bikes and I have commuted in several bikes in my motorcycle career or motorcycle experience. I wouldn't call it a career because I ain't getting paid, but y'all can change that by subscribing and liking this video. I've owned a Kawasaki Ninja 650 and I've owned a Yamaha R6, and I can tell you that this bike splits the difference between those two when it comes to ergonomics. So one of my first criteria is going to be ergonomics, right? The Kawasaki Ninja 650 has a more upright stature when you're sitting on the bike. It kind of feels a little bit more like my Z900. Feels like a MT-07, MT-09. If you have ridden those bikes before, the foot pegs are a little bit more forward, the bars are a little bit more higher, definitely not as lean forward and aggressive in stance as the Yamaha R6. So when it comes to ergonomic, you are about in between a super aggressive motorcycle like a R6 and a sport bike, sport tourer like a Ninja 650 or even a Ninja 1000. Second thing I want to talk about is the comfort. The RS660, it being at a more premium price for a parallel twin, has all the comfort that you need, not counting ergonomics. Ergonomics makes a big difference, makes big sense when it comes to comfort, but the seating, the seat is definitely a lot more comfortable, a lot more premium than some of the other bikes that you're going to see out there. The Z900, for example, even as it's upright, I hated that seat. It was super hard. My ass my butt will start hurting, you know, within an hour of riding. I was ready to buy a new seat cover, a new seat cushion, and that's what got me to buy the Louis Moto seat cover. Has that extra plush cushion on it. I don't think I'm gonna need it for this bike, honestly, unless I plan on going on long distance trip. As far as the seat, it's amazing. Even the passenger pillion seat is a lot more comfortable than the Z900 passenger pillion seat. It's more comfy, it's more soft, more cush. It definitely wins in that category, even as though this is a sport bike. Some of the things that also make this a good commuter is that if you are commuting, you know, 30 minutes, an hour on the highway, you have the ability to use cruise control on the RS660. Now, I don't commute that far to go to work. I think I'm only about like 15 miles away from work, so I've never really had to use cruise control. But if you do live far from work, and if you do commute far from work, the cruise control can make a huge difference, especially when you're driving on the highway. And this is the cruise control right here. It's real easy to hit it. You got to be about, I think you got to be above 2500 RPM or 4,000. I don't know what it is, I'm not gonna lie, but I've never really used it, so it's not a big deal for me as far as commuting, but it definitely can help some people in regards to that. The next category that I kind of see when it comes to a commuter bike is the way the bike delivers power. Is it linear? Is it usable? You know, the amount of torque also makes a difference, especially in the lower revs, because like the Z900 has a lot of torque and it's a good street bike where you can kind of just putt around town in second or third gear, fourth gear, you know, without having to worry too much, and still have a lot of fun. The way the power is delivered on the RS660, it being a parallel twin, is almost like the Ninja 650. Whether you're, I'm in second gear right now, going about 40 miles an hour, and I don't feel like the bike is struggling. Like when I had the R6, the bike just was not comfortable, and not like I don't know how to explain it, but it just wanted to go fast. It wasn't comfortable in the lower gears. It wasn't a good putt around town type of motorcycle. Like the only time I really had fun with the R6 is actually, you know, driving on the highway. The Z900 and the 650 was definitely a way better motorcycle to putt around town, and I feel like the RS660 is the same way. Like I have fun on this RS660 going around second, third, fourth gear, just driving around town. So if you're commuting in a city, the bike's power and the way it delivers power is definitely a lot more usable in the city. Alright, we're gonna make a little stop here because I've always wanted to take I've taken a picture here with most of my motorcycles, and I have not actually brought the RS660 to this little graphic backdrop, but I've always wanted to for a while, and today I have the chance to, so I'm gonna take a few pictures here, and then yeah, we'll see if we can post it on my Instagram. If you're not following me on my Instagram, it's moto_ret, MOTO_RET, if you want to see photos of the RS660 and my Kawasaki Z900. If you are on Instagram, make sure you hit me up on Instagram. You can also contact me there. Hit me up on my DMs if you have any questions about any of the bikes that I have on this channel. So the bike, in my opinion, is an awesome motorcycle for commuting. I'm not gonna say it's better than the Z900, because it's not. The Z900 is a lot better overall when it comes to commuting on a motorcycle, just because the seating position is more upright. But if I were to rate the Z900 for commuting, I would say, if you're not taking highway, and even if you're taking highway, it's not too bad, but I would rate the Z900 about an 8.5 to go on to use it as a commuting motorcycle. And for the Aprilia RS660, I would rate it about a 7. So not too far apart regarding that as far as my ratings go. The Z900 is just a little bit better when it comes to commuting to and from work, or just commuting around town. Still a lot of things that I want to do to this bike. I will update you on videos to come. I got some new levers in as well. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one, y'all. Peace.